Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, the Director General of Health, Ministry of Health Malaysia, MPH, Professor Technologist Dr. Hajah Roziah Janur, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, exercising the functions of Vice Chancellor, University Teknologi Mara Malaysia, UITM, Dr. Muhammad Azaimi Ibrahim, the Director, Institute Perubatan Forensik Negara, IPFN, Hospital Kuala Lumpur, Dr. Muhammad Shah Mahmud, Chairman of Malaysia Society for Disaster Victim Identification, MSDVI, and Consultant Forensic Pathologist, IPFN. Professor Technologist Dr. Muhammad Nazib Suratman, Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation, UITM. Professor Datin Dr. Hafizah Mat Nawawi, Director, Institute of Pathology, Laboratory and Forensic Medicine, I-Perform, UITM. International guests, distinguished guests from various government agencies, Royal Malaysian Police, Malaysian Armed Forces to name a few, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Rozana Azrina Sazali, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies. The event is being organized by the Office of the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation, UITM, in collaboration with I-Perform UITM, IPFN, and MSDVI. This event is broadcasted live on UITM's YouTube channel. To begin with, I would like to invite all guests to recite the national anthem. Before we begin, I would like to invite Al-Fadil Ustad Muhammad Faizan Tajweed from UITM to recite the dua for blessings.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, all praises are due only to Allah, Lord of the universe. Greetings and blessings be upon the most noble of prophets and messengers, our leader and guide, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and upon his family and his companions. O Allah, make us speak with guidance, inspire us with piety, give us success for that which is most pleasure, and employ us in what is most pleasing to you. Allahumma ya dhal jalali wal ikram, the most merciful. We are grateful and pleased to be here in this beautiful morning in conjunction with virtual book launching Disaster Victim Identification Malaysia, the MH17 tragedy, the untold story. May Allah bestow upon today's ceremony with an abundance of blessings, for it to become a platform to impart knowledge and to commemorate an indelible moment that grip our nation, and may those who have gone before us always be in the grace and pleasure of Allah. O Allah, grant us prosperity, peace, security, and protect us from plagues and pandemics that threaten us, particularly the coronavirus disease. O Allah, accept from us this humble prayer. Verily you alone are the all-hearing, the all-knowing. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana hadha jam'an marhuma wa tafarruquna min ba'dihi tafarruqan ma'suma wa la taj'al fina wa la ma'ana shaqiyya wa la matruda wa la mahruma. Allahumma dafa'an al-ghala wal-bala والوباء والفحشاء والمنكر ما ظهر منها وما بطن. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Jazakallah khairan kasiran Al-Fadil Ustaz Muhammad Faizan Tajweed for the dua recitation. Ladies and gentlemen, 7 years have passed and we are remembering the victims of the Malaysian Airlines Flight 17 tragedy with sadness. To pay tribute to the victims of this tragedy, I would like to invite Saudara Muhammad Safiuddin bin Suhaimi from the Academy of Language Study to recite a poem. This poem was written by Dr. Ahmad Hafizam Hasmi, the forensic pathologist from IPFN and a member of the Malaysian DVI team.
Tragedi MH17, karya Dr. Ahmad Hafizam Hasmi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. 17 Julai 2014, tarikh duka warga dunia, satu tarikh kekal terpahat, lipatan sejarah. Satu tarikh parut duka kepada keluarga, juga negara dan dunia. MH17 dari Amsterdam menuju Kuala Lumpur. Di kokpitnya 2 jiwa, penerbangannya penuh pengalaman. Jam penerbangan tidak terbanding. Mengemudi kapal tanpa wasangka. Setiap prosedur telah diteliti, diperiksa rapi. Di tepi kanannya pegawai pertama, tidak kurang hebatnya, melaksanakan setiap arahan ketua, memeriksa balas segala langkah, ikut aturan seperti ditetapkan. Di belakang duduk sang jurutera, memastikan kapal baik-baik sahaja. MH17, 33,000 kaki di atas udara, siang waktu Eropah, sedang melintasi wilayah konflik sebuah negara yang sedang berantakan. Penerbang mengikut laluan ditetapkan, sentiasa komunikasi dengan menara kawalan. MH17, di dalam ada 298 jiwa, kanak-kanak juga dewasa, pelbagai warga, agama dan bangsa. Hati yang berbunga. Ada yang ingin pulang ke kampung halaman, ada yang ingin melihat keindahan Malaysia. Mereka itu dilayani mesra anak-anak kapal yang setia dengan senyuman, keikhlasan hati. MH17, sedang ia waktu itu terbang tenang di atas sana. Tanpa sedari, di bawah sana ada yang membidik berpandukan raja, ditekan picunya, Sebuah peluru meluncur laju, meletup ia di kiri kokpit, membunuh serta merta dua di dalamnya. Fusnya tidak bertahan, berpecah ia di udara. Jatuh bersamanya semua jiwa, jiwa-jiwa yang tidak berdosa, tidak langsung terlibat sengketa. Dan kami, DVI Malaysia, menggalas amanah Nusa, mengembalikan jasad-jasad mangsa ke pangkuan keluarga dan negara. Dari Kuala Lumpur terbang ke Kiev. Di Kiev berpecah dua. Mayat-mayat mangsa dalam pangkuan puak pemisah. Satu kumpulan kami secara rahsia ke Donetsk berunding, mendapatkan mangsa dan juga kotak hitam. Satu kumpulan terbang ke Belanda kerana di situlah tempatnya untuk dikenal pasti jasad-jasad mangsa. Hilversum, jasad-jasad terkujur. Walau apa keadaannya, dapat dikembalikan identitinya dan kami pulangkan ke pangkuan tersayang, disempurnakan sebaiknya satu noktah penutup kepada keluarga tercinta.
Thank you, Saudara Muhammad Safiuddin, for the beautiful poem recitation. Now, I graciously invite Yang Berbahagia, Professor Technologist Dr. Hajah Roziah Janur, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, exercising the functions of Vice Chancellor, University Teknologi Mara Malaysia UITM, to deliver her opening remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera and a very good morning. Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, Director General of Health, Ministry of Health Malaysia, Dr. Muhammad Azaini Ibrahim, Director Institut Perubatan Forensik Negara, IPFN, Hospital Kuala Lumpur, Datuk Dr. Muhammad Shah Mahmud, Senior Consultant Forensic Pathologist, IPFN and MHDFI Commander, Medical DVI Malaysia, Professor Technologist Dr. Muhammad Nazib Suratman, Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation UITM, Professor Datin Dr. Hafizah Nawawi, Director Institute of Pathology, Laboratory and Forensic Medicine, I perform UITM. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to join you to witness two significant events that have been lined up today. The first event this morning is the launch of a special joint effort book between Ministry of Health Malaysia, the Armed Forces and University Teknologi Mara UITM, titled Disaster Victim Identification, DVI Malaysia, the MH17 Tragedy, the Untold Story, to mark the 7th anniversary of one of the most tragic incidents of the 21st century thus far. More than just a chronology of events, following the downing of Flight MH17 on the 17th July 2014 in Ukraine, this book honors the lives lost on that fateful day, as well as acknowledges the hard work of the various ministries, government agencies, Malaysia's DVI team, including both the ante-mortem and post-mortem teams. To everyone involved directly and work tirelessly to help bring closure to grieving families across the world, we can't thank you enough for your service and contributions. What you did and continue to do have not only brought some comfort to ease the pain of such tragic loss, but also provided valuable data-based evidence to ensure that future disasters of such a scale can be better mitigated in recovery, preparedness, and responses. Of course, none of this would also have been possible without the help of international DVI teams from the Netherlands, United Kingdom, Germany, Belgium, Australia, New Zealand, and Indonesia, who worked together with Malaysia's DVI team. At the same time, in pursuit of shaping lives and transforming the future, UITM is cognizant of the current and future direction of DVI research in facilitating forensic work. Thus, this book has also incorporated a chapter on research looking at the use of drones in DVI. I must say that the launch of this book is timely, as not only does it commemorate the lives lost and serve as a guide to Malaysia's DVI team in future missions, but the lessons from the experience then and research work now are especially crucial as we try to emerge from the shadow of COVID-19. As we look ahead to do better and become stronger from this pandemic, I hope that this book will uplift all of us in need of an inspiration on determination and commitment. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for our next event this morning, we will be witnessing the signing of a Memorandum of Agreement, MOA, between UITM and Malaysia Society for Disaster Victim Identification, MSDVI, a professional society registered under the Malaysian Registrar of Societies, Ministry of Home Affairs. The MOA between UITM and MSDVI will allow for research mainly on drone-assisted victim localization and identification in mass disaster management from a forensic perspective. This research collaboration stems from the Transdisciplinary Research Grant Scheme, TRGS, awarded by the Ministry of Higher Education, MOHE, to both parties. Thus, I hope the partnership forged through today's MOA will open up more avenues for collaborations that are able to elevate scholarly and societal impacts from sharing of knowledge and experience, academic information, as well as research between all parties. I would also like to take this opportunity to offer my sincere appreciation to the Malaysian Society of Disaster Victim Identification, MSDVI, for being on board with us in this endeavor. On that note, I hope we will continue to work together to achieve the targets we have set and harness our expertise and energy in more meaningful ways. Finally, I would like to congratulate all parties involved once again in the production of the MH17 commemorative book, as well as today's MOA signing. Stay safe and well. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Yang Berbahagia Professor Rosa Janu, for the insightful speech. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Muhammad Shah bin Mahmud as the chairman of MSDVI, Consultant Forensic Pathologist IPFN MOH, MH17 DVI Commander Medical, DVI Malaysia, to deliver his speech.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning Tan Sri, Dato' Sri, Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, Director General of Health, Ministry of Health Malaysia, Professor Technologies, Dr. Hajah Roziah Muhammad Jano, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, exercising the functions of the Vice Chancellor, University Technology Mara, Professor Technologies, Dr. Muhammad Nazib Suratman, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation, UITM, Dr. Muhammad Azaini Ibrahim, Director, Institut Perubatan Forensik Negara, IPFN, Hospital Kuala Lumpur, Professor Datin Dr. Hafiz Ahmad Nawawi, Director, Institute of Pathology, Laboratory and Forensic Medicine, IPFOM, UITM, distinguished guests, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Malaysia Society for Disaster Victim Identification, MSDVI, I am honored to be here for the Memorandum of Agreement signing between University Technology Mara and MSDVI. MSDVI was established in 2017 with members from various forensic expertise such as forensic pathology, forensic science, forensic anthropology, forensic radiology, and others. And majority of them are from the Ministry of Health and also from the public universities. MSDVI is the first society registered in Malaysia to cater for the forensic multidisciplinary networking. The main activity is focused on peer-to-peer cooperation, preparedness for mass casualty incidents, knowledge sharing for first responders and DVI community, research collaboration and training with the academic institution, and also collaboration with related international agencies such as Asia Pacific Medical Legal Agency Network and International Committee of the Red Cross. This MH17 book to be launched today is the initiative and effort by both parties. It is hoped that this book prepared from the perspective of our Malaysian DVI team and the first to be published by fellow Malaysian will emerge as one of the pivotal reference material on this historical national tragedy for our future generation. It serves as a documented experience of the Malaysian DVI team in the national mission, which can be shared with others. In addition, subsequent to this tragedy, DVI research in Malaysia has evolved, including utilization of smart drones and gathering information using state-of-the-art technology for rapid and efficient acquisition of primary and secondary identifiers warranted in DVI, which has been also discussed in this book. Gathering information within the 48 hours golden rule is challenging but important for rapid identification and release of the deceased to their families. This book also serves to commemorate the tragedy 7 years ago and the earnest services and contributions of all the agencies involved in identifying and bringing back home the victims' remains to their grieving families, culminating in pacifying ultimate closure. It is specially dedicated to all victims of MH families and their loved ones, and all those who have been involved in the DVI activities, DVI research, and repatriation of the remains to their loved ones. UITM's Institute of Pathology, Laboratory and Forensic Medicine, and Ministry of Health forensic practitioners have been collaborating for the past 10 years in joint researches, publications and training, as well as co-organizing national and international forensic conferences. MSDVI and Ministry of Health are very grateful to UITM for the ongoing research collaboration in the use of drone and cutting-edge drone technology in the victims' management of large-scale disaster incidents. This transdisciplinary research grant scheme TRGS is awarded by the Ministry of Higher Education. With this Memorandum of Agreement, I am very positive. Both parties and other DVI community will benefit significantly from the research and training initiatives that will ensure Malaysia is at the forefront of DVI activities. Finally, my sincere appreciation to Ministry of Health and UITM for their continuous support in promoting activities related to DVI. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Shah bin Mahmud for the delightful speech. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is the moment that we have been waiting for. The ceremony humbly calls upon Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, the Director General of Health, Ministry of Health Malaysia, to deliver his speech and thus officiating the ceremony. Please welcome Tan Sri.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Professor Technologist Dr. Hajah Roziah Jano, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, exercising functions of Vice Chancellor of UITM, Professor Dr. Muhammad Nazib Suratman, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation, Dr. Muhammad Azani Ibrahim, Director, Institute Perubatan Forensik Negara, Datuk Dr. Muhammad Shah Mahmud, Senior Consultant of the Institute Perubatan Forensik Negara, and Professor Datin Dr. Hafizah Muhammad Nawawi, Director, Institute of Pathology, Laboratory and Forensic Medicine, UITM. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all. It gives me great pleasure and honor to launch the DVI Malaysia, the MH17 tragedy, the untold story today, on the anniversary of the tragic incident. The heartbreaking tragedy of Malaysia Airlines MH17 that occurred on the 17th of July 2014 caused 298 passengers and crew from 10 countries to lose their lives during the incidents. Today, amidst the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak, we are virtually gathered here to look back on the tragedy and allow Malaysians and the world to share our grief with the family members of the victims. This launch was planned at the UITM Hall of Fame, but due to the escalating number of positive cases in the country, particularly in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor, the virtual e-launching platform is the best option available today. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the UITM University for its role in the publication of the book with the Ministry of Health Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, exactly 7 years ago, the Ministry of Health Malaysia was directly involved in the investigation and disaster victim identification operations of the MH17 tragedy. The MOH team, comprising of forensic pathologists and forensic odontologists, were mobilized together with other forensic experts from the Malaysia Armed Forces, the Royal Malaysia Police, and the Chemistry Malaysia to carry out the DVI operations to restore the identities of those who perished in the tragedy and subsequently return them to their loved ones. Hence, besides remembering the grief of the tragedy, we are also celebrating the Malaysian DVI team for the successful undertaking of their mission entrusted by the government and the people of Malaysia to manage the remains of the victims with respect and dignity, regardless of race, nationalities, and subsequently providing bereavement and closure for their family members. This MH17 DVI operation marked the first forensic humanitarian mission carried out abroad by the Ministry of Health Forensic Medical Services in collaboration with the international DVI communities. The publication of this book is a timely commemoration of the MH17 DVI Malaysia mission. The mission in Ukraine and Netherlands opened the eyes of many to the fact that DVI Malaysia was on par with other established international DVI teams. The team undertook its responsibilities competently and was highly commended by the Deputy DVI Commander from Germany and benchmarked Malaysia as a reference point for future DVI operations. The experience brought new knowledge that helped transform and enrich the forensic medicine services in Malaysia. It is inadvertently made the team stronger and eager than ever to serve their profession and their country. Ladies and gentlemen, the story of the tragedy of MH17 can be found on the mainstream media and social media platform. Nevertheless, very few people knew about the covert team's mission in retrieving the black box from the separatists in Donetsk, Ukraine, or the grueling hours of Ramadan fasting in the European summer, wearing full personal protective gears while carrying out DVI investigation. Without having a story told in a book, we will not be able to provide a context, a voice, a deeper understanding, and allow the experiences of the DVI team to be heard and shared with the world. According to Liana Van Zandt, it's important that we share our experiences with other people. Your story will heal you, and your story will heal somebody else. When you tell your story, you free yourself and give other people the permission to acknowledge their own story. I believe that this book will become a legacy to commemorate the contribution of all agencies involved in fulfilling their duties to bring the MH17 tragedy victims home, and a record of a humanitarian effort to effect a kinder closure to a terrible catastrophe. Once again, congratulations to everyone who has made contribution to make this book a success. I thank you.
Our highest gratitude to our Director General of Health, Ministry of Health Malaysia, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, for taking his invaluable time to attend and officiate today's opening ceremony despite his tight and busy schedule. Now, let's move on to the montage of the book launching, Disaster Victim Identification Malaysia, MH17 Tragedy, The Untold Story. For the record, this book is published by UITM Press. We have completed the first part of our event today, and now we move to the second part of the event, in which we will be witnessing the signing of Memorandum of Agreement (MOA) between UITM and MSDVI. This MOA is signed by Datuk Dr. Muhammad Shah Mahmud, the chairman of MSDVI and consultant forensic pathologist IPFN, and Yang Berbahagia Professor Technologist Dr. Hajah Roziah Muhammad Janur, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, exercising functions of Vice Chancellor UITM, and witnessed by Yang Berusaha Dr. Ahmad Hafizam Hasmi, forensic pathologist from IPFN and a member of the Malaysian DVI team. Yang Berbahagia Professor Dr. Muhammad Nazib Suratman, Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation UITM. Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Nur Hisham, the Director General of Health, MOH Malaysia. And Yang Berbahagia Professor Datin Dr. Hafiz Ahmad Nawawi, Director iPerform UITM. This MOA embarks on a new journey of collaboration activities between UITM and MSDVI. Now, I would like to invite all of you to watch a video of the collaborative research, networking, and linkages between iPerform UITM and MSDVI and IPFN. We hope that by signing the memorandum, we can strengthen current collaboration in advanced science and research between all parties. This effort will go down in history as the result of the synergistic response of Malaysian institutions to the tragedy. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express my gratitude to all distinguished guests who came to witness the book launch and memorandum signing. We apologize for any flaws or inadequacy that occurred during the event. Respected sirs and madams, as we near the conclusion of the ceremony and before we part, please join us to enjoy the poem Noktah Sakinah, which will be recited by Saudari Najma Zarifah binti Muhammad Hanafiah from the Faculty of Community Studies, UITM. This poem was written by Yang Berbahagia Professor Datin Dr. Hafizah Mat Nawawi, the Director of I Perform UITM.
Noktah Sakinah nukilan Hafizah Muhammad Nawawi. Tragedi MH17 tanggal Ramadan 17/7/2014. Tarikh tersemat di sanubari, masih segar dalam ingatan. 7 tahunan lalu nun di bumi asing Donetsk, Ukraine, merentap 298 nyawa, nurul jiwa raga, menyentuh hati nurani merentas berdua. Siapa sangka tanpa diduga ianya menjadi titik puncak arus penyelidikan semasa. Teknologi canggih, terbangan drone dan analisa DNA di antaranya, bantu pengecaman mangsa bencana. Seawal sepantas mungkin 48 jam pertama, agar dapat dipulangkan ke pangkuan keluarga, disemadi di bumi negara tercinta, agar mampu bendung puncak duka, menggamit sakinah, ketenangan didamba, mengakhiri bab tragedi sukar dilupa warga Malaysia dan juga dunia. Dipanjatkan doa agar aman mereka di sana dalam rahmah yang Maha Esa. Setiap sesuatu ketentuannya pasti ada hikmah di sebaliknya. Hanya Dia yang Maha mengetahui segala. Dari Dia kita datang, kepadanya kita pasti kembali jua. Al-Fatihah.
Thank you very much, Saudari Najma and Yang Berbahagia Professor Datin Dr. Hafizah for such a beautiful poem recitation. We are coming to the end of the ceremony. Again, on behalf of the organizer, million thanks for your presence and support towards this virtual signing ceremony. We truly appreciate your support. With that, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day. To all, I would like to invite everyone for a photo session by turning on your camera. The organizer will capture the photos. So please stay with us. Thank you. Ready? 2, 1, 2, 3.
Some more shot.
Okay, Doctor.
We have completed the photo session. Thank you everyone for joining us today. The event is dismissed. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Thank you.